So we're going to give the internet just a couple of seconds here to catch up and get everything published out to LinkedIn and the other platforms. And we are now live. Welcome everyone to episode 12, the season finale of the first season of the Level Up Your Wealth podcast. This podcast is powered by the gamers at Tones Financial. If you click the link below, bit.ly/levelupyourwealth, or go to, you can see at the top navigation, the Level Up Your Wealth tab, where there's tons of great resources, past episodes, and more opportunities coming soon. I'm one of your hosts, Marcus Howard. Unfortunately, Mario couldn't be here today because he had a family emergency. He will be back next week. I'm excited to introduce Eugene, the creator of RPS. Welcome to the show, Eugene.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Yeah.
Awesome.
Hey, everyone.
If you're joining in live, wherever you are, LinkedIn or the other channels, feel free to let us know where you're tuning in from. We'd love to give you a shout out. We also will be joining in on the chat, and feel free to ask questions of myself or of Eugene. What we're going to do is kick this off with an RPS match. But first, a little bit of background about you, Eugene. Where do you come from? How did you get to RPS?
Well, it's a long story, actually. So how much time? Okay.
Let's look at the shorter version.
Okay, yeah. I'm entrepreneur for like 23 years or something, and my first business was web design. But yeah, I started my career as a lawyer because I have a law. But I dropped from the law career when I made my first website and sold it. So I got some amount of money for that time. So yeah, I decided, no, this is my way to go. So yeah, and I had businesses in tech, like in marketing. I had marketing agency, like I had outsourcing business in Ukraine, and we did a lot of. So yeah, I have technical marketing and some kind of offline projects we launched in Ukraine, and so yeah. And also I started doing things in crypto and blockchain in 2017. We actually launched a venture capital fund. This was my first attempt in investing, and we made some of the projects, and some of them are successful, and but we mostly failed, and we lost a lot during the first crypto winter. We lost a lot, and that was disaster for me, I guess. I remember it was like during the COVID, the first lockdown in Kyiv in 2020. And we just sit with my partner and like look at each other, and we understand, okay, now we lost everything. So what to do next? And we have like 6 months sitting at home, and like, so yeah, I just remember, okay, I had some idea that I wanted to make it happen. So it was a game, and because I visited lots of conferences, like blockchain conferences, like gaming conferences, and I was having some idea in mind. Okay, what about like create some really simple game for people to play with each other, and to promote crypto and to promote like NFTs or something like this. And yeah. I came up with an idea. Okay, it should be like really simple thing, like rock paper scissors maybe. And I couldn't find anything online like decent implementation. Like what is it? Like some really simple versions of it. But I had some vision. How to make it more attractive, how to make it like with simple, like good users. Like I would play myself because I was a gamer when I was teenager. But when I started business, my business became like, and I also like was asking, okay, why I'm not playing games? Because it takes time. You need to, actually now, like modern games, they require skills. And if you play with someone who is more skilled than you will lose. Like, and you need time to train and to dedicate to this. So yeah, and my idea was like, okay, I need to create something that anyone can play, like even like a kid or maybe adults, and they can play. So it's just like game forever. And so yeah, this is like was my. And I was sitting like with my partner, and I was thinking, okay, how to do this, because we don't have like money to pay someone, because yeah, we are broke. Yeah. And I locked myself in a room for like 3 or maybe 4 months. I started to learn, like I coded something like myself before, like I made websites, but this was like very simple things, And okay, I need to do this myself, but how to do it? I went to YouTube, I put learn JavaScript in 6 months. No, 6 months, it's like too long for me now. I need to find something like 24 hours. So yeah, I learned JavaScript, like Vue.js, Node.js, all the I made them. I have some pictures when I started initially, like from small lines of codes, and I guess in 3 months or maybe 4 months, I made the first version, and I played with my partner and played with my friends that visited me at that time, and everyone was happy. So wow, it's cool. So let's this is like, in some way, this game actually like saved my mental health, I would say, because I was looking for some support, for some like way out of this complicated situation. And at that time I was like 39, and like when you turn 40 in 6 months, you understand, okay, man, you need something to create for yourself, because it's a challenging moment in your life. So yeah,
that's incredible that you. Video games are a mental health tool for most people in general, playing them, but you were able to leverage it in creating to create kind of that mental health resource that you needed. So that's
clear. Yeah, it became some kind of support for me in the heart.
Okay, and so how long did it take you to make the game? So you spent your 24 hours and learned Node.js, or probably several weeks, months, right? I'm joking about that.
I had some methodology from the past. I had some kind of methodology how to learn things, and you learn something for 1 week and you do something next week. So doing this like iterations all the time. So and it took me like 3 or maybe 4 months to create the first. It was quite playable. We played a lot, and I saw, okay, now I really like the concept. I feel that because I like it myself, I was like, okay, I need to do something that I will play myself. And so that was my idea from the beginning.
Let's get, for the people who haven't, thank you everybody for joining us and investing your time. Again, let us know if you have any questions, send them in the chat. For those who have not seen, over the last several weeks, we've been featuring RPS. Mario would play against our special guest again. He couldn't be here today, so I will step in and play against Eugene, who created the game. Yeah. So I have no expectations of winning, but I am going to play.
No one knows. Okay, let's.
So let me share my screen so you can see.
I will create new. Okay. Okay, let's do it.
All right, so for those of you who haven't seen, this is the first to 10.
Let me go first because I can see the screen, so it's not actually fair. Okay. So
okay. Yeah.
I will do my. Yeah, I go first, and you do next.
Okay. All right.
Of course.
First move.
Yeah. Okay.
So Mario.
Yes.
Yes. This game can also be a metaphor for how you.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, you can. There are some, I guess. Okay.
We got a bunch of draws here for those of you who are listening when this is 5 moves.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I got the first. I'm up 2 points.
Okay. Oh my.
I'm going on a run now. Here we go. But you're right. I love how accessible this game is. So many people grew up playing rock, paper, scissors, so you don't have to teach them about rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, that was the idea. So anyone can join the game and play immediately. You don't need like a book to learn this. Yeah.
I forgot to do this before we got started. So if you're watching live, place your bets. We'll pick one of the people who win, who select the winner, which might be me. It might be Eugene. But if you pick the winner, you have a chance to win a free digital copy of my book, Innovate Gaming and Esports. I should have done it before we got 7 moves in here, but still you got plenty of time to place your as we come to.
Okay.
Eugene, one of the other things that I appreciate about this in terms of accessibility is that you can play this game on mobile device, and I have when I've explained this platform to other people, sent the link out. I played against my brother; he was on mobile.
Yeah, same interface. It's like same link. So yeah.
I had thought that I might have to play against Mario at some time. I was joking to myself that I was going to go back and review all the past episodes, like you would like study game film about your opponents. to see if he had any trends about how he select his rock paper, because he always talks about.
Yeah, there are always patterns because people cannot play that's like when we play up to 10 points, you still have a chance to build your strategy, how to win. You can read your opponent, you can create something to win. And okay.
Everybody, we're at the match point, and I lost. So I hope you didn't bet on me for this. Eugene, congratulations on winning. I didn't expect any different, but you were a formidable opponent. So thank you for that.
Thank you too. It was great.
So while we're on the screen, if you don't mind, if you want to share your screen and kind of go through some of the other major features. And again, if you have any questions about RPS or the platform, again, we want to talk about the Web 2 and the Web 3 piece so that everyone understands all the amazing capability of this platform.
So yeah, share this.
I'll stop sharing. All right. And while you're doing that, we had a question come in. Oh, the screen went black. And did it come back? We had a question come in. We'll have to go check on LinkedIn because it's not telling me who sent the question in. But the question is, it came from Adam. Adam, I see. He says, how do you make the build for a live audience instead of for screen sharing? So I guess if do you have any kind of broadcast functionality built into the game?
Yes.
I guess is this question.
Yeah, there is a link that you can put in any chat, so when people join, they can see the game between two of them. They just can see the moves that we make. So after we make them. So yes, there is a link for this. So it can be streamed as well. So no need to share your own screen.
Okay. For those of you, who want to be able to play without having people see your move, so that you hopefully have a fair game. So yes, that functionality is built in. Thanks for that question, Adam.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind, we'll just give us a demo of the platform.
Yeah, there is another question, I guess, like what's the goal of the product? Yes, what's the goal of the product?
1 second. Again, I'm not getting all the questions here. Let me jump over. What's the goal of the product? Also from Adam. Great question, Adam.
Okay, cool. Yeah, the goal of the product to create a tournament platform. Like two people can meet and play the quick match, and they also created a tournament platform for like a group of people, like for like some community or maybe some like audience, or maybe like for team building. For example, you invite from your colleagues from the company and you just create your own leaderboard, your own event, and you have a tournament. And also I have a crazy idea, like, okay, there are almost like 3 billion gamers in the world, right? So why not to create a championship for all of them, and to make like a huge championship and to find the best rock paper scissors player in the world. So it can be done in this. So yeah, we can with even cryptos, NFTs. We have like I will show like what kind of functionality we have here. So yeah. Okay. So it's a competition platform around the game, the rock paper scissors game. So yeah.
He has a follow-up question since you mentioned crypto. Why Web3? Web3 is a hype term. Web3 hasn't been defined. So can you?
Yeah, I also don't like this Web3 terminology, and of course, initially when we started this, we didn't even use the word Web3 NFT at all. We used like trading cards or something. So when you play the game, you can win some trading cards, so you can create this trading card like for your brand, or maybe use existing trading cards, and so yeah, you can create some coins inside the game. So it's not related to Web3, and we can call it as we want. So,
and yeah. If you don't mind, I want to clarify. You actually have two different versions of this product. So the one that we just played on is on rps.gg, and that you and I have been connected for quite some time. You showed this to me the first time. It was before you had done the Web3 version of it. So for those of you watching, there's two versions of rock paper scissors. What we just played was on the Web 2. I hate using that acronym or that term. Sounds so gimmicky, but the traditional gaming space version of this is the rock paper scissors. That's rps.gg, and then the Web3, as I roll my eyes, is rps.io. Is that correct?
No. This is the main domain for the game. So yeah, and okay. I will show the basic features. For example, can you see the screen now?
We can see your screen.
Okay.
So forgive me, everyone. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Listen to the guy who
so you can connect your wallet, for example, right? So, and if you create, like for example, if we create an event and you can join this event, and we can like authorize you, like for example, this kind of event, right? So once you want to join the event, it will like check your wallet address. If that address is in the list of like allowed addresses, so you can join it, and at the end you can win some kind of NFT that is promoted here for just a second. So yeah, this is a demo, so this is not real event, so this is like for the demo. But anyway, once you get to the top of the leaderboard, you can go and like claim this NFT or mint this NFT or whatever. And this is a basic connectivity with Web3. And of course, we have other features that are in the roadmap. And we also have ongoing partnerships that I cannot like tell it. We collaborate with coins, projects that have our own coins. And we made this kind of collaboration to integrate the coins into the.
Okay, so to answer your question, Adam, Web3, one of the primary uses, as he just showed, is for the whitelist functionality. So if you wanted to just send out, have a tournament with just a specific, identified number of people out of a community, you could take their wallet addresses and put it in here, and only people with those wallet addresses could access that specific tournament. The other thing is when you win, you have an opportunity to mint and or claim an NFT, or maybe win some tokens, some crypto. So that's your answer. You had one more question. Let me jump back over here to LinkedIn to go get that.
Yeah.
I lost it. Why rock, paper, scissors?
Okay.
He says, other than the idea of accessibility, it's hard to own or patent. So unless it's meant to be replicated by competitors, how do you grow? So that was a question to you.
Why rock, paper, scissors? Look, I was initially like inspired by poker, right? For me, it is like complicated game. It's not something that you can play for 5-10 minutes a day with your friends, and you need skills to play the game, right? Or we have chess, right? So everyone knows like basic rules of chess, but when you play with some like chess guru, you have no chance to win at all. So, and rock, paper, scissors is just game mechanics that everyone knows, and you don't need to explain rules. So you just jump into the game immediately and you play. We had also like offline events integration, when you put a QR code on a screen and people just scan this code with their phone, and everyone in the room, they jump into the competition and play. So you don't need to explain rules. So people just play and have. So yeah, we create this kind of moment of fun for offline communities, online communities. So this is why I picked rock, paper, scissors. And I saw like it's a simple game, but still we can create a level of fun around this game, so everyone can exciting about it. Like, so.
And Adam, great question and great response, Eugene. Adam, just for your knowledge, I actually did the exact thing that he described, an offline event. So I worked with Eugene about 6 months ago. I produced an esports tournament separately in Jacksonville, an event that's kind of like a TEDx, Think Bold. And at that event, we had a branded tournament for the Think Bold Festival, where attendees at that event could scan the QR code at the end of my presentation about sustainability in esports, and they were all able to sign up for the tournament and participate. So it was just for those attendees, because we had this very specific instance for this event for that community. So I applaud you, Eugene. I think that's a great approach, making something that the majority of people understand, so the majority of people participate and engage. And I think that's one of the things that's fundamentally missing from the esports ecosystem right now, is that it's too exclusive. You have to be, hyper competitive and have, in many cases, expensive equipment in order to even participate in this. Literally anyone can participate from their cell phone, and most people have cell phones, and most people understand how rock, paper, scissors works.
And of course, we have other games like in mind that we can put use the same game engine, but to create other things on top of this engine. But we started from the rock, paper, scissors. So yeah, okay, we have more.
Let's see, more questions. We love the questions. Keep sending them in. So let's see. Looks like this is another question. Great question from Adam. He says rock, paper, scissors is a core function of video games, Pokemon, for example, so he understands the concept. There are elements of this in everything. He understands the concept, but how do you make it a brand that you can move forward, or does it ultimately fall into the realm of pokering?
For example, any brand can provide a prize pool here. So you can create a tournament for your brand or your clients, for example, and you can invite them to participate, and you can reward them with some prize pools that it could be like subscriptions to some SaaS services, for example, or it could be like physical products. So it could be like a game like a brand promotion for someone. Also, we can do this like a complementary thing, like during sports events. So I can show you here, like soccer league. Can you see the screen? Yes,
you can still see your screen. Yeah.
Yeah. So, for example, we can stylize like a game board with colors and brands of some teams, and we have this guilds functionality that you can create your own guild inside, and your guild players will be decorated with the colors of your brand. And for example, if we have some NFL game or NFL tournament or maybe soccer, fans of clubs can compete with each other and win some prizes from. Yeah, it could be like complementary thing for offline events, for online events. And of course, we can do on our own. We can do for everyone, and with our own prize pools and like rules. And so yeah, we still. I'm still looking for product market fit, and this kind of collaborations that we have, for example, with Marcus and Mario, it's also a nice example what we can do with it. So if anyone has ideas or suggestions, we're open. So please.
Yeah, I could definitely see this at like a local baseball game here, right? So we have the Tampa Bay Rays here in Tampa Bay, because we're in Tampa Bay. To say that now 3 times. But they have the jumbo screen in the stadium, so I could, just like we did when we worked together for the event where it was inside in a building at the conference. I could see being at the stadium, then putting a QR code on the jumbotron and saying, come with free food, win the tournament, and get a free meal and a free drink, right? So it's not necessarily gambling, or yes, this concept exists in Pokemon, but you can't. You're unlikely to get the same kind of engagement from, especially kind of the traditional baseball audience in Pokemon as you would with rock, paper, scissors, because it's an older demographic. So I certainly understand Adam's point where I can see an opportunity where it might be used for gambling, but I also see your larger point, Eugene, that this is generally for more generic community engagement, whether that's for fans, for employees, for customers, brand engagement as a. Great question. He's got another comment here. He says, framework-wise, he understands why and when. The point he's asking is, and this is again kind of back to the gambling, is gambling components, which makes it not esports but sports betting. I think having a clear message to attract the correct audience is important. So, Adam, thank you for the great questions.
Thank you for questions.
Do you not see an esports component here, or do you see it for betting or sports? And as he's making that response, his response to this is, he believes it's a great idea, but unless you can own something underlying, they can just hire their own people and cut you out. A developer, you need to make sustainability, and those who use your product also need to have.
Yeah, of course. So now, we work also like on B2B layer. So we try to integrate this, to create different levels of like the one we had with Marcus on offline event, and we also had similar events like in small pubs, for example, or cafes, and we just created these pop-up events, and so we use the same interface, we use the same address, but with different functionality, with like a bit of customization, I would say. So.
Yeah, Adam, to that point, again, I've partnered with Eugene to leverage this platform for an event 6 months ago, and I've been writing code for 15 years. So in theory, I could have built something like this, but it was much easier and much more efficient and effective for me to just work with Eugene and say, hey, let's just get a branded version. That took me, 10 minutes of working with him to get that set up versus and I have very limited time. It would have taken me months, maybe a year to reproduce this given my schedule. So I think ultimately you will start to see, major brands, larger brands like your Googles and obviously your Netflixes, they have their own internal game development teams, but the average like coffee shop down the street doesn't have its own game development team. And so if it wants to engage its customers with gaming, it's not really realistic for them to go hire a bunch of people to go build this when they can just talk to Eugene and spend 10 minutes and have it ready to deploy. But I do see your point. Definitely, Eugene, it's going to be important for him to protect because rock, paper, scissors isn't something that he created. I could see where other people might want to reproduce his success and his concept, but from the average business perspective, this is basically a off-the-shelf solution that can be deployed within 10 minutes.
Yep. And gambling companies are your biggest in some way, yes.
Maybe even gambling, right? I could see, and I've had this conversation before in the past, maybe with Adam and a few others, that gambling companies as a whole need to move more into games than just like different skinned versions of the what's the name of the machines where you pull the lever and then it does the spinning. I forget what it's called.
Slots.
But slots. Yeah, slots. I went to Las Vegas briefly for CES 3 years ago, and all they had was different skin versions, themed versions of slots. Like the entire experience was just slot machines with different themes on them. And so I didn't spend any money there because I didn't have any interest in that. If it was something that was more directly gaming based like this, I might have spent more time on this than I would with slots.
Yeah, that's true. And I know many brands, they don't like the idea to be like incorporated or integrated into like gambling type of games, right? Or even like shooter games. Not everyone is happy to like relate it somehow with shooting games. Or this is a way to go for them. So they can still try gaming in their marketing communication and use this as a tool to engage the audience.
I think that there are a number of brands that are very apprehensive about engaging in gaming and esports right now because of the prevalence of mature rated games and games with guns. I'm not, games with guns lead to violence in real life. Actually, the majority of the research out there suggests the otherwise.
Yeah, of course.
Suggests the opposite. Suggests otherwise, but that the perception is that violent video games could create brand liability. So I think this is a great opportunity to get into gaming that doesn't necessarily, have guns in it. And then Adam added a new point, second point as well, that slots are patented by International Game Technology.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that. That's news to me. Thanks for that. So Eugene, can you tell us a little bit more about the other features that are in here? You mentioned you have leaders and guilds as leaderboards. Can you talk about like larger tournaments? What, if somebody wanted to use this as a community engagement tool, what might that look like at a larger scale?
Yeah, I didn't mention, I guess, the chat feature we have, so players can communicate, and then it was on the public chat, or also during the match, when you play with someone, you can still like have chat with a person. So if we talk about the event organization, you can have your own leaderboard with own like the start date and end, and for example, we can also set like the amount of points every player plays during this tournament. So now we played up to 10 points, but you can say, okay, we just need to play up to 3 points, and that's enough. So make it like fully random and fully gambling. You cannot build any kind of strategy like when you play like up to 3. So you can decorate your gaming board. You can set how many players you want to participate in the tournament, and we have also tickets. Once you join the tournament, we can have a digital ticket that user has to provide to click this check-in button, and you can also have your list of tickets, and then we can check if the user has that ticket. And we also have this QR code things. You put the QR code on offline location, and people on this location scan the code, and they jump immediately into the game and play with everyone around. So and as I mentioned before, so you can create your own. Everyone can join this guild from the settings. So if I go to settings, I can pick the guild, and the guild owner need to So yeah, you will need to wait for approval from the guild owner to participate in the guild. And so yeah, you can we can like integrate in the future. We can integrate some bettings on the guild level.
So it can support potentially some betting applications,
Of course, of course.
but it's not designed initially or
yeah, it is not designed initially, but it is possible. So we can implement this via API maybe, or with some external services. So,
and then the guild is that exclusively a Web3 feature, or do you not need a wallet in order to be admitted?
No, you don't need the wallet, but anyway, this is kind of feature that we approve. So we need to approve the guild. So we need to approve the naming. We need to approve this type of colors and branding that you apply to your guild players. And so yeah, this is not available to the public to create a guild.
Okay, and then in terms of scale, do you have an idea of like the maximum number of players that this system will?
No idea at the moment, so I guess like we're not limited by the amount of players, but we just need to see how it goes.
And then the length of time that a tournament runs, is it a day, 3 days?
You can set the time as you want, like 15 minutes, maybe 1 day, or maybe 1 week. So you will see like, okay, the tournament started 1 day left, or like 5 hours left till the end. So yeah, and players once they play, so yeah, the first player who will be on the top of the leaderboard will get or you can decide, okay, not only the first player, but top 10 players will be rewarded, and we can think, okay, how to implement this kind of reward feature for you.
I didn't get this over to Restream, or I definitely would have put it up on the screen. Adam says he prefers the gambling companies stay away from games, which I generally. He also mentions the gambling companies are your biggest competitors. Yeah, for that same reason though, Adam, I think that even though they may be some of his more visible and more prominent competitors, specifically for brands, again, like small and medium businesses, family-based or businesses with family customers, you're not going to see them adopt a gambling solution as an engagement strategy for especially anything that deals with kids.
Yeah.
Can you talk a bit about, and we demoed this at the very beginning, but maybe we kind of ran through that very quickly, the difference between like an instant game and the reason for not doing instant game?
Yeah, for example, if we click here, we just connect with 2 people that are online. So you're randomly connected with another person who also clicks this button. You can also like initiate this direct match. So I can put your name here, and I send you play requests, and you see this notification. Okay, so I can play with this person. And another mode is when I join some event here. Let me check. Maybe this one. Let's try this. So yeah, now I'm like locked within this. Yeah, I just connect with people who joined this event as well. So yeah, and I guess we didn't show this before. We have this widget. I will show you. We have this widget. It's not loading for some reason. I don't know why.
While he's doing that, again, great questions, Adam. If you have any others, feel free to send them in.
Yeah, sure.
See if I missed anything. And anyone else who's joining us live, A, thank you for joining us. B, feel free to send questions. Eugene's happy to answer those. I can't answer them, I don't think, but I'm pretty sure he's answered every question that's come in so far. So don't be shy.
Can you see another screen? Yes, you can. So we also have this kind of widget tool that you can put on any website, like the same way you put Google Analytics code, right? So with few lines of code, you put this on your website. And once you click, the pop-up is opened, and you just can play with other people on your website. So you with only users of your website, and you can instantly play with people on your website, and you can see like how many players are there online, and you can create own events for your users here, and you will have your own user leaderboard here. And so yeah, so this is like another feature we have. So to engage site.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think that again, that embed functionality is something that most brands don't have the domain expertise to produce. So this is something again that they can kind of just plug and play this functionality, this engagement resource into their community. And it's so where do you see rock paper scissors? What are your goals for the end of this year or into next year? If there's anything that you are able to share, obviously none of the things that are still kind of NDA.
Yeah, look, my crazy goal is to create this like worldwide event with a huge amount of players, like 1 billion players, and to create a prize pool that never existed before. Like, and so yeah, everyone can play, like families, kids, adults, whatever. And so this is the goal.
I have a question. If I have a brand that wants to use this platform and people are signing up for it, do I get any kind of, do you have a dashboard or any kind of statistics about the engagement or the information so that
it's still work? Yeah, it's still work in progress. So
okay,
it will be, but now it's not ready.
Yeah, when we were working together early this year, I was hoping that I think the world record for people playing rock paper scissors is like 10,000 people. I think that was set in China. Mm-hmm. I really wanted to beat that record earlier this year. It didn't happen. So hopefully, there's always next.
Yeah, always next year. So yeah, this is also the case. Create a new record of amount of players who participated in the tournament. It's one time.
Maybe we have an opportunity to work with LinkedIn and host like a LinkedIn-wide rock, paper, scissors tournament. That would be something neat.
Yeah, we just need to collect some prize pools from sponsors and make it.
Yeah. Well, lots of opportunities still. We're just running up on Q4 for this year, and then there's all of 2024 ahead of. But this is great. You said how long did you spend making? You spent 6 months with the first version. How much time in total have you spent on the RPS project?
I would say one year. So it's like totally with all the improvements, all these things. Like it was not like constant like process. I made breaks in the process, and I came up with this kind of because I had some interactions with beta testers, I would say, in the brands, and so yeah, like in total it took about one.
Okay. Well, and so for those of you who are trying to get into game development or software development, you have Eugene as a case example, a perfect example of someone who was not in coding. He started his career as a lawyer, went into venture capital, and then in the span of 3 or 4 months taught himself to code, and in the span of 12 months, not contiguous 12 months, but over the 12-month period worth of time, has put together this platform that is both kind of Web 2 and Web 3, and you've seen it, right? It's fun to play, it's fun to watch. He has it where it's integrated. It's easy for other businesses to integrate it into their ecosystems and their communities. So I would encourage you, if you were looking for opportunities, that like Eugene, you could create your own. Just spend the time to learn a new skill set. Everyone is always learning. And you too could have something as magnificent as rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, YouTube has like all knowledge you need at this moment to create this type of things. So yeah, you just need to believe in it.
That's going to be interesting to see kind of the long-term impact on higher education, right? You were able to build this and effectively start a new business without having to spend an hour or $1 at a university or college. What are your thoughts about the future of it?
It's all interactive, and like I believe new education is when we start to learn something, and in 1 week you start implementing this. And now I see another potential here. First week you learn, second week you implement, and third week you explain others how you did. So yeah, so everyone can do after you, so they can learn from you on the third week. So this is like iterations of. So yeah, and people learn from other people. You just need to find your mentor. You just need to find someone with who made this before and ask questions. And I wish I had my like mentor or advisor like 20 years ago when I started. It would save me a lot.
What has a saying go? You don't truly understand something unless you can explain it to someone else. So I agree with your philosophy there. And are you still doing any kind of angel investing now, or have you stepped away from that to focus on the?
I have my second attempt, but it's more like advisory business, and it's like accelerator or an incubator of. I help entrepreneurs to start the ideas, to grow the ideas, because I have some experience, I have some background that I can share and put into projects. So it's not investing like with money, but I invest my time and I invest my.
Okay. Well, that's awesome as well. Again, you don't know what you don't know, so it's great to learn from. What is it? The other saying is a smart person learns from their own mistakes, but a wise person learns from the mistakes of.
Yeah, I have my mistakes, so I can share.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. If anyone has any other questions, we got a few more minutes here before we wrap up, but want to make sure that you have a chance to ask those questions of Eugene. Again, very thoughtful in his responses, and I believe he's answered every single question that we had come in. And again, thank you everyone who's joining us live, and especially Adam for the amazing questions.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you have any, as we get ready to close this out, do you have any parting thoughts or other things you're excited for this year? Other ways that people can kind of follow you and other opportunities you have going?
I guess, I will mention some collaborations that once we finish this, I believe, we can actually announce it. And this is like the type of collaboration that we made with brands. And so, I can announce this in my LinkedIn in October. And I guess it will be exciting news for.
Okay. And then here's a sneak preview for everyone else. We will be launching, Tones Financial will be launching some rock, paper, scissors tournaments here on rps.gg in collaboration with Eugene and the Let's Rock team.
Cool.
So you heard that here first. I was going to do a formal announcement in the newsletter, but that was supposed to drop yesterday, and I've had a crazy week. So that will either happen later this week or maybe get pushed over into next week. But yes, definitely we will be using the rps.gg platform to host tournaments. As you've seen, it's easy to play. It's easy to log in to play. Everyone understands it. So we're just using this as the foundation for leveraging esports for community. We're not really certain on the prizes yet. Certainly there will be prizes down the line, but this is a great way for us and for anyone else who wants to get on board into this ecosystem. You see Eugene, he's live here. He's available on LinkedIn, and so you can always connect with him if you have any questions.
Yes.
Anything else where people can email you directly, or is LinkedIn the best way to contact you?
Yeah, they can contact me on LinkedIn, and I can share how to do this.
Yeah, if you let me see if
I can send you.
I'll paste the link to your LinkedIn profile here in the live stream, so that people can connect with you.
Thank you.
And unless there are no other questions, if you don't mind, if you will pick the person who had the best questions to you today, they win a free digital copy of my book and of Mario's.
Yeah, I guess this will the last question about the competitors, and I guess the name Adam, right? So
Adam. Well, congratulations. For the best question in today's live. We appreciate everyone's time for tuning in. And again, this concludes season 1 of the Level Up Your Wealth podcast. We will most likely be kicking off season 2 next week. So stay tuned for more great information there. Thanks again for your time. We're excited to help you level up your wealth. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, thank you.